Hello. I am going to show you how I edit a dynamic pose in Photoshop. Um, this will be hopefully a rather quick edit. So whenever I say that, it never is. So I am on the third third story of this really red house we got to shoot in. And this was my senior subject. So I've already tweaked her a little bit in Lightroom. Um, this was my original image, except flipped like this. I shot it a little too warm. I brought my ISO up, so there's a little bit of noise in there. So I thought it would be better composed instead of this way. This way. So I flipped her vertical. And this was another one that I did, which I super loved, but I wanted one of her actually looking into the camera. So that's what I'm going to show you. Here is, I guess you've already seen the before and after. This is the before. This is the after with some Wolfpack Lightroom tweaks. I did do a little bit of noise reduction, and that's just because I underexposed it. It gave a little bit of pixelization in the shadowier areas, so I noise reduced it a little. I keep my detail high, and I don't super mess with the contrast a lot. Here's my color, detail, and smoothness. It's kind of where I like it. So here's where I took it in Photoshop, and I'm going to put a overlay over it just to pop her a little bit. And if you've seen any of my videos, they are pretty similar, I'm coming to find out. Just different techniques that are kind of the same, but not really. So I'm going to get rid of this overlay on her face as well as her dress. Also, it's distorting my white here a bit, and I will hand manipulate that rather than have a funky red color over it. So I'm going to take it off her skin. A lot of the highlights in this really cool wood that's going on there, as well as some of the floor. So really not a ton, but I really like the way this image frames her. You can kind of see what I did here. It's really darkened in selectively, so I'm gonna go on my Kelsey Freeman actions for show, and I might show you guys a little oak, maybe. That might bring her down a little too much. I kind of like that. Here is without the oak overlay. Here is with. Kind of just warms up your already warm browns. I'll take this corner red off too, as you can see. So here is oak. And I'm actually going to put another one on there. I'm going to see what storm. Now let's see what rustling leaves looks like. It's just a little different than oak. A little bit warmer, which I am okay with. If I tend to do anything, I tend to make my images a little bit warmer and then cooler. Guess that's just me though. Alright, I'm erasing off the highlights, my subject, and just kind of leaving that on a few of the darks. I'm going to try one more and see what it looks like, and I will probably love it. Storm is one of my go-tos. It's probably one of my favorites. It gives me all the depth and warmth I need whenever trying to create something really dynamic. So I'm taking a big white fluffy brush and just erasing off of my client. Probably going to erase off of here just a little bit. There you go. You can kind of see the difference. I'm also going to use a fill flash on her, just a smidge. I really like how the bars created shadow play on her dress as well as up into her face. And I'm going to drop down. That's kind of where I want it. Take a bigger, fluffier brush. I'm going to put it kind of on this arm, maybe a teeny bit on her leg area. I'm not as concerned down there. I just wanted to feel cohesive. There's that. Just a slight adjustment, and then I might drop it down about halfway, just because I like some moodiness. And I'm going to go to my Innocence retouch and do a slight smoother on her skin, mostly in the darker areas, just to kind of even out those shadows. Not a lot. She already has really perfect skin. I like this composition. I showed her behind the camera film, kind of the way I see her in her session, and she liked these, so I'm very happy. Alright, there's just with a little tiny smoother. So I'm already liking this. I'm going to probably put in a bold vignette from my Radiance collection. If I can find it all the way down here. There we go. And it just adds in a little drama, as you can tell. I'm going to hold up. Let's try a dark red vignette. No way. Alright, I'm going to leave this bold vignette and then erase off my highlighted parts, especially where it looks fake. So there's that. I added that just for a little bit more depth because I really want this spiral staircase to kind of frame her and for the background to kind of fade away, play a lesser part in here. So check it out. Alright, I'm gonna blur the background, and that might be all I am going to do this. Actually, I might sharpen her eyes just a little bit. But other than that, that is how I would kind of frame a more dynamic pose. With dynamic poses, for example, dips, twirls, flips, hugs, kisses, or using your whatever action is going on in your portrait. You don't need a ton of stuff to show that. The motion in the image should already display what you're trying to display. And right here I am trying to be as dramatic as possible, obviously. Um, so that is about all I would do to this image. I'll show you before and after. So if you want to see the Lightroom version, this is my before, or this is my original image. This is with Lightroom tweaks. And then here is kind of my final area. I'm going to smooth in a little more in detail, maybe on her face. And that's about all I'm going to do, guys. Oh, and maybe sharpen her eyes just a little bit. There's something about this shadow over here that's bothering me. There we go. Alright, looks good. I'm going to sharpen her eyes with a selective sharpen. Just a tiny bit. And she will be good to go. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, feel free to post them below. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you need me, find me at Lennox&Jude.com, as well as my other at Lennox&Jude and on Facebook, same thing. So, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Ta-da!